The Stop It Pipe Repair system excels at pipe repairs involving leaks in pipes of all sizes. Other videos in this series have addressed complex geometries and active leaks. This video demonstrates the approach and best practices for the successful installation on larger diameter pipes for which multiple rolls are used to cover larger areas. The two-part epoxy should still be locally applied at the leak site, however it is not addressed in this video. Please note that personal protective equipment is required to be worn during these installation procedures and that the surface should be prepared in advance. This video illustrates the application of two rolls of 4-inch wide by 25-foot long Stop It composite repair tape on an 8.625-inch diameter pipe. For this diameter pipe, each roll will accomplish approximately 11 circumferential wraps. While it would be possible to apply the two rolls side by side, the intent of this video is to demonstrate procedures for installing multiple rolls over larger areas. As such, the rolls will be installed sequentially by spiraling the tape with a 50% overlap to cover a total width of 8 inches. To begin, prepare the first 4-inch by 25-foot roll by immersing in water for about 5 seconds, while firmly squeezing the roll 3 times. Working quickly, begin the application by performing 2 circumferential wraps on the pipe. Upon completion of the circumferential wraps, start to skew the tape. Aim to have shifted the edge of the tape by 2 inches by the beginning of the third wrap. Continue the spiraled 50% overlap until reaching the edge of the intended 8-inch coverage. Before reversing direction, apply 2 circumferential wraps at the far edge of coverage. Continue to apply the remainder of the first roll by alternating between spiraled 50% overlap and the circumferential wrap at the edges of the repair area. Once the first roll has been applied, immediately open the package of the second roll and immerse in water. Note that it may be helpful to have a colleague prepare the second roll as the installation of the first is completed. Begin the application of the second roll by overlapping by 1 to 2 inches with the end of the first. Complete the installation of the second roll by following the identical wrap process used for the first. Once the 2 rolls have been applied, immediately re-wet your gloves and begin to compress the expanding resins back into the repair wrap. Continue polishing the resins until they are no longer sticky and the resin can no longer be compressed. Keep your hands moving and re-wet your gloves as often as necessary to keep the resins from sticking. The hardening of the resin and the absence of bubbles when water is applied indicates that the resin is set and the installation is complete. Discard all packaging materials and protective gloves in a suitable container. The demonstrated installation of 2 4-inch by 25-foot rolls on an 8.625-inch diameter pipe over a distance of 8 inches produces an average wrap thickness of 10 to 11 plies. More rolls would be needed for greater coverage down the pipe. However, it is important to note that it is more desirable to have the total number of plies cure simultaneously over a given area as opposed to covering long lengths of pipe multiple times at fewer plies. Please consult the product selection guide for assistance in designing such wrap plans.